time. This team of time, trust me, that's going. Me? Totally. For sure. So I watched this one episode 2. It was definitely interesting. But it wasn't just a humor that grabbed me. There was something else, something a bit sharply, like who's sending Cassie those texts. Because a mess going on. Now don't get me wrong, there's still funny bits. Questions King and Laura, but this episode really focusing Cassie, so I like to dive into her headspace a bit. Try and get a feel for what's going on with her emotionally, but before we get told up, I want to touch on someone. Madison Twatter. Yeah, I remember this name now. He left that much of an impression. Honestly, how could I forget Mr. Madison? Oh, and as a heads up, if you haven't really watched this episode recently, you might want to give it another look before I get in the review. Especially, I'm gonna be digging pretty deep into what's going on in this one. Before the review, I've got a little quiz for you. It's a scene based some quotes of my reaction. That sort of thing. After the review, I threw out the 3 discussion topics. This was a bit meatier, more so provoking. I'm genuinely curious to hear what you have to say about it. Right then, let's kick things off with the quiz, shall we? Quiz time, let's have a bit of fun. Same as last time. Let's kick off with quiz 1. I say a quote from the episode and react them. You should try and guess which scene I'm reacting to. I'm going for shower for pubes. Yeah, you've done it. Hey, hooray! I need some of that energy. Did Ruben still his apple? No wonder Ruben's crying. Show me the money. Money? I don't care who's going up here. Wait, Abigail's mom still hang up on the cabin. You staring at me. Oh my. PhD Madison Twatter? This in scheming little look. Calm down, Mr. Madison. So was that easy? Rather, quiz 2. This time I'll describe a few visuals and react to what's going on. See if you can guess which scene I'm talking about based on that. What's going on the bus? Everyone's just slapping their faces except Cassie. Here's Cafe. Downtown Cassie's parent is in the shower way too loud during their time. Oh my, she's absolutely smashing that bottle. Safety and lip finish. Wait, outside getting nicked with his ass out. Why don't you cover your tits when Tony, teacher? Perhaps you and Tony like a sing of something? Oh, stop giving Cassie those weird looks, man. Get back off. Easy one, yeah? Honestly, I kind of wish I could borrow some of Cassie's mom energy. She's got such a weirdly wholesome vibe going on. Alright, let's crack on the review, shall we? Oh yeah, he's back, PhD Madison Twatter. He really stands out, doesn't he? The wide mustache, the intense expression. He's got a proper presence. Still no sign of him getting paid back for that scam. He was probably cured. Now he might be a bit dodgy, but I just think he's got a bit deep down. I mean, he gave a random kid 320 worth of scam on credit. That's gonna count for something. Honestly, I think everything kicks off with Tony, doesn't it? If Tony hadn't said anything in the first place, none of this would have happened, really. Then Mr. Madison turns up supply teacher at their school. I mean, I can't wait to see what's happened with him in episode 3. Now to the main character of this episode, Cassie. I've got a bit to say here, so bear with me. They are all the same size at action stations. That moment kicks things off, and from there, Cassie starts encountering different people. There's also that scene on the bus. You remember it, don't you? She finds a tiny little note, says eat. From that point on, Cassie keeps being told to eat. All sort of ways by someone. Take his message, the chips, arrange to spell out eat, like that, like that, like that. It's like she's constantly being pushed from all directions. Who on earth behind it? At first, I thought it might be that taxi driver Alan, especially with it showing up at the very end and saying, "So eat." And he said, "See no, hear no, speak." But I guess he still sends text message. But tips, there's no way he could have done that. So then I started wondering, what if it was all in her head? Bit like that film, A Beautiful Mind, you know. There aren't any imaginary characters walking about or anything, but vibe is similar. I even checked Reddit. There were a few people saying like it's all in her mind. In my view, Cassie's incredibly gentle, pacifist, introverted. She's got thoughts and feeling like anyone else, but she holds back because she's afraid of being disliked or judged if she speaks her mind. And after a while, it gets to a point where she probably thinks, what's the point say anything? No one would care anyway. That mindset, I think it comes from her surroundings too. Her parents are too wrapped up in their own lives. And the restoration teacher, she says, think of restoration as a big family. But immediately remind her that, cause after 6 p.m., so rarely it's all bitches, you know. She doesn't seem to have anyone she can truly open up to. And that's clear in the scene with she in the canteen. And it's not exactly like anybody cares. And then her little catchphrase totally kind of stands out too. Like a way protecting herself emotionally. I get it, I'm introverted myself, so I can totally relate. Back to episode 1, remember the scene where she's carefully lining up the plate in the kitchens? To me, that's her way of trying to find some control, to process all those messy thoughts she can't put into words. In this episode 2, there's the bit where she's arranging the chips on the plate. I think maybe restrict her eating because it gives her a sense of safety. Like if I don't eat, no one can judge me. No one can expect anything. There's also contrast between her and Tony, right? Tony says what he wants without a second thought. Cassie, on the other hand, she hardly ever expresses what she really thinks. The one exception, the scene in the canteen with Shin. I think she's the only one who truly tries to understand her. When he says, "Come on, Cass, you never eat anything," that's when she starts to open up bit by bit. She starts saying all this stuff that sounds kind of random at first, but I think there's deeper meaning behind it. You wanna question what I'm about, but I keep distracting you. She's testing shit, isn't she? Trying to see if he really cares. Deep down, you are really sure I want some more, and I'll keep waiting at you until you stop looking at me. Again, same thing. It's like she's saying, even if I act weird, will you still care about me? Will you still love me? Rather, let's get into the discussion, shall we? Discussion 1 yours. If a friend of yours who's underage came to you for advice because they were in debt to someone dodgy, what would you say to help them? So basically, if you were in Angie's position, how would you respond to she coming to you for advice? It might be kind of funny in the show. She's the dealer's Mr. Madison but in reality, it is some dangerous scam, I think. If you get involved with him by paying off his debt or anything like that, you'd be putting yourself in danger too, wouldn't you? But if you just acknowledge his situation, who knows what will happen to him in the future? Maybe ignoring the policy is the best option after all. Angie suggested a few things. But what advice would you give she if you value discussion through communication? If your friend is struggling with mental health issue and you really hope they get better even just a little, how would you support them? Let's say you have a friend like Cassie who's dealing with mental health issue. Do you act like nothing wrong and just be a normal mate? Crack jokes, hang out, sort of thing? Or do you take a different approach, more careful, more thoughtful, checking more open, discussions through love? If someone you love to see struggling but isn't opening up about it, how would you support them? Someone you love has a really super kind nature like Cassie, but they seem to be struggling with something. When you ask, are you okay? They just say, yeah, totally, for sure, fine, and won't very open. But from the outside, it looks quite serious. In a situation like that, how would you approach them? Would you just quietly open? Or do you think there's a better way to help? We're a bit more serious this time. Actually, it's pretty common in Japan too. You know, they say totally fine, but actually they are not fine. At the end of the day, we really got to judge by their facial expression whether they are truly okay or not, I think. Cassie's struggle, yeah, they are not exactly the kind of thing you can just sort out overnight, are they? Maybe I feel a bit of a connection with her, like there's something about Cassie that just hits close to home, you know. Honestly, I really wish skins caught on more over here in Japan. Proper good series, and I want some pops. But seriously though, I'm still that curious what's gonna happen with Shield and Mr. Madison. Could go proper sideways, couldn't it? Like from discovering, losing his bollocks, literally. Am I wrong? Anyway, I'll be cracking on with episode 3 next. Catch you then.